What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And I hope everybody out there has been doing just great. It's been a little while since the last time I made a video. I've been like doing crazy overtime at work. It's been ridiculous. What can I say? The child support is not going to pay itself. A brother's got to get on the grind, you know what I mean? But I hope that you guys have been doing good. But I will be damned. I had to make time. I told myself, I've been telling myself for a couple of days, I got to make time to talk about this news that it's finally dawning on Disney, you know, like some type of revelation from up above, like the angel Gabriel came down and tapped Bob Iger on the shoulder and told him that Star Wars is losing its appeal to the kids. You know what I mean? Now, the reason why I have to talk about this is because if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, then you know my primary motivating factor in doing these videos is that my son turned off to Star Wars directly after The Last Jedi. Okay? And I've been talking about this. I've been frank about it. I've been saying it now for going on God knows how long, you know what I mean? So, I'm not gonna miss this opportunity because it drives me crazy. Let me ask you guys something. Have you ever had a friend and you saw your friend get into a relationship and you knew that the young woman that he was getting into the relationship with was just no good. She was no good for him. She was gonna use him and abuse him and break his little heart, and you knew this. You saw the signs and you tried to tap your friend on the shoulder and say, hey homeboy, that's not the way to go. She's not for you, my man. I don't like the looks of this. I know her. I've got a cousin who has a friend who's married to somebody who's you know, familiar, you know, like with the way this woman is, you know what I mean? And what can I say? Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a man eater. I wouldn't if I were you. I know what she can do. She's deadly, man. She can really rip a world apart. Mind over matter. Ooh, the beauty is there, but the beast is in her heart. Okay, so anyway, so you're telling this dude, by the way, I really have always believed that that song by Hall & Oates should be the official new wedding song. So instead of, here comes the bride, we should be singing, oh, here she comes. That's what I've always believed. That's just me. I know I'm bitter. But anyway, like I was saying, so you're telling your friend that this heifer is no good for him, you know what I mean? But he doesn't want to listen because when a man loves a woman, she can do no wrong. So he doesn't want to hear it from you. He's like, just shut up. I don't want to hear it. You're hating. It's like, I'm just getting steady pieces of ass and you are over there whacking off and I don't care what you say. So he doesn't listen. You know what I mean? So it gets down the road. You know, you keep trying to tell this guy, man, I'm telling you, I just saw her across town. She was heading for the cheating side of town. You know what I mean? But he doesn't want to hear it. So he continues on with his little fantasy love affair, you know, seeing what he wants to see. And this woman keeps on. And she's in his pockets and she's taking his money. And you keep trying to tell him, man, please, please don't do this. She's going to destroy your life. And then finally, when it all comes crashing down around him and she just keeps on using him until she uses him up, you know what I mean? And then once he's used up, she leaves him and he's broken and his self-esteem is in the toilet and he's crying and, you know, just all types of standing on the ledge of a high-rise building and then, you know, he says to you once he's lost everything, you know what I mean? It's like he's lost everything. He's lost it all. And, you know, he's just that much away from like jumping over the cliff. And he says, why didn't I see it coming? And you're just like, seriously, bruh? You know what I mean? That's how I feel, okay? That was my long, drawn-out, dramatic way of saying that's how I feel now. Because we've been telling these people forever that it's not just like racist, misogynist, you know, living in the mother's basement, women hating, gay people hating, you know, people. We've been trying to tell them that you're doing Star Wars wrong, you're going about it wrong. Star Wars is timeless, okay? You don't get to bypass the parents and do a run around the parents to get to the kids. The kids are with us. We're the ones who introduce them to this, all right? So if we introduce them to this, then obviously they have love for Star Wars as it is, as it was, as it will always be, all right? So yes, for my son, for example, loves Luke Skywalker. He loves Han Solo. He loves Princess Leia. He loves Lando Calrissian. He loves C-3PO. He loves R2-D2. He loves Chewbacca. He loves Yoda. He loves Master Windu. He loves everybody you can name, Anakin. He loves the whole thing, you know what I mean? So by the time the new sequel trilogy came around, we went arm in arm into that theater looking for a great Star Wars experience, a continuation. They called it a sequel, so we were looking for a sequel, you know, and we rode with it in The Force Awakens, okay? J.J. Abrams did just a good enough job ripping off A New Hope that, you know, we gave it a pass, even though Han Solo died in that movie, which was, to me, that should have told us all. But somehow, you know, seeing Luke on the side of the mountain at the end, you know, it got us all amped up. You know what I mean? It was genius, really. But seeing Han Solo die the way he did should have been a wake-up call for all of us. You know what I mean? But as of The Last Jedi, it was over. You know what I mean? It was completely over for my son. It was like night and day. All the joy of me sharing this thing with my son, it was done. He wanted nothing more to do with it. And I talked to you guys before, you know, about my son every step of the way. Here we go. Beginning, learning how to read, okay? This is one of my son's earliest books right here, and he loved it, okay? Going on, level 3, okay? Still, even though The Force Awakens, like I said before, he still loved Finn, okay? Going on, all right? This is dad's, you know what I mean? This is, you know, this is pretty hot, you know what I mean? But, you know, all the things that we have around here, you know, I don't have a bunch of toys hanging out in the back of me and all that stuff. That's because my son and I, we play with this stuff, or used to play with it. Now it just lays around the apartment, you know what I mean? So it's like all of these things we have. This Millennium Falcon alarm clock. Never got it open, could never figure out how to get this thing out of here. I don't know why they always put these things in like that. I mean, do you have that much of a problem with people stealing? I find that hard to believe, especially today. And then, you know, here's a nice little Star Wars Lego ship that he had. This is from the Lego Star Wars series, The Freemakers. A lot of you probably didn't see that, but he really loved it. And this was the Arrowhead, I think it was called, you know. So this was pretty cool, all right. And then I realized that we have a Lego set in here that he didn't even open. And that's because by that time the spell had been broken with Star Wars, all right. So you got this. And it hasn't even been open. I'm thinking about putting it together just for the hell of it this weekend. You know what I mean? But he could care less. You know, and this is what I'm saying. Calling the fans names and trying to act like we're outdated and shitting on your legacy characters was probably the biggest mistake that Disney Lucasfilm has ever made and will ever make in this whole thing, because there's no going back. Like I said before, the damage is done. The most they can hope for is kicking Kathleen Kennedy out of any type of role at Lucasfilm and getting somebody in there who will just have to start fresh, because as far as the original trilogy and that connection, it's pretty much done. You know, it's a done deal. You messed it up. It will forever be messed up. But I'm just tired, man. I'm tired, and I talked about it on the last video. The only thing that Disney Lucasfilm can do for fans right now, leading into Star Wars Episode 9, even though I'm still not going to see it no matter what, is you owe us an apology, all right? You owe us an apology for sicking the dogs on us, meaning the online media, meaning all of the people in the comment section that come in here. I've seen, you know, some of these YouTube personalities get death threats, and, you know, I've gotten death threats, you know what I mean? And for what? For telling the truth that is coming to be obvious to everyone right now. And that's the part that's really driving me nuts, because you're going to sit there and act like you're having some type of revelation that, oh, kids are not liking Star Wars. And then you start coming up with like bullshit reasons why, like Star Wars fatigue and all that stuff. It's not Star Wars fatigue, it's bad storytelling. You had kids, shout out to the Star Wars dad. His son made a video. Darth Cody, shout out to Darth Cody. His son made a video begging you to restore Star Wars to its former glory. And I think he can't be any more than 9 or 10 years old himself. You know, and he did a video and he sent it to Rian Johnson, and Rian Johnson deleted the video and blocked him, a child. You know what I mean? And this is what we're dealing with. This is what we've been dealing with. So when I hear about stories like this, where, oh, all of a sudden you're having some type of, you know, great revelation about all of this, I'm just like, bullshit, man. It's like you chose not to listen to your fans. All that shit that I just showed you guys costs money, and that's just a little bit of what we have around here. And you don't think, after all of the hundreds of thousands of tens of millions of dollars that we as true fans have spent, you don't think that gives us the right to voice how we feel about this? We've devoted money, we've devoted time, go to the conventions, we've devoted energy, and we've devoted our love and our passion. And when we say how we feel about this, the last fucking thing you should be saying to us is to shut up and be quiet. Shame on you, Disney. Shame on you, Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson. If you don't have the imagination, the devotion, and the passion to do this thing justice, you should have fucking never picked it up. But you did, because you're greedy bitches. That's why. And now you're fucking it up, and now you want to sit back and wonder, why don't the kids like it? Well, let's see. Let's think about The Last Jedi. All right, what kind of action figures did The Last Jedi inspire? And I talked about this on a previous video. What is it? Lightsaber toss Luke? You press his belly, go away, and he's tossing the lightsaber over his shoulder. Go away, go away, go away. Yeah, how about that? I mean, how about Leia? You know, what are you gonna make her into? Like a drone? Drone action Leia who floats through the air. What about Rose? What does Rose inspire? I mean, as an action figure, not a damn thing. Oh my God, Admiral Holdo. Are these toys that anybody would ever want to play with? I don't think so. You know, so of course your merch is not going to sell. And like I said before, you had World Class Bullshitters did a series of videos about you know, the merchandise not selling and just sitting on the shelves and all that stuff. The warning signs were there. You guys didn't want to listen, so now you get to act like you're surprised and, you know, start blaming everything under the sun. And I would suggest, number one, you apologize to the real fans whose hearts you broke, and number two, you get some people in there who really have an imagination, who really have passion, and stop with the virtue signaling, stop with the political bullshit, tell a good story, and people will actually come back. Tell a good story. I know that's an alien concept. But anyway, guys, listen, that's it for now, okay? I just wanted to get that off of my chest and put that out there. Of course, you guys are welcome in the comment section to tell me how you feel about all this. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And of course, when you subscribe, press the little notification button. That would just be dandy. All right, guys, and you can catch me on Twitter as always. I will be there. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.